everybody, welcome back. I've got a couple of things for you today. I do have a shopping haul, got some really cool items, a couple of things that are sort of mystery items, like my last video where I showed you like a brass item that I didn't know what is. I found a couple of things that are very interesting. Let me just say the keyword bugs and seashells. You put that together, think what you think it is, and then stay tuned to my shopping haul because I'm going to show you what it is that I found. I also found another really cool item that needed a little bit of tweaking, a little bit of updating to it. And so I want to share with you that makeover as well. I am somewhere that a 55-year-old woman should not be, and that is sitting in the floor because I am dreading having to get up. But I'm down here in my salt and peppers. This is, I'm in my reselling room, which I call my Etsy room because right now I only sell on Etsy Marketplace. I am going through some inventory because I am trying to put visual eyes on things that I'm like, hey, how long have I had that? Does that need to be marked down? So I thought it was a good time to just go over a couple of things before we get to the shopping haul of things that I like to do that I think actually helps my Etsy vintage shop succeed or pick up when it's a little bit slow. And these things might help you. And maybe it's stuff you already do, but if you're not a reseller and you're wanting to become a reseller, any of the little tips can help because that's what I used to do, watch people and pick up tips, and the things I didn't like, I just didn't worry about it. If you haven't been here before, my name is Eva. I do sell vintage on Etsy Marketplace. I am Pink Truck Picker. You will see that on my Instagram, my YouTube, and my Etsy store. And I do have a Facebook page, but I don't put anything on it. I probably should do better. I have been a reseller of vintage for the last 6 years. I used to have an antique booth. I also used to sell on eBay and Mercari. And now I've kind of dwindled it down a little bit. I'm just trying to focus on Etsy. I do pretty well on there, so that is where I am currently spending most of my energy on. So sales are pretty good right now, but every so often they do get into a slump, and every so often I need to kind of give myself a swift kick to get moving, because if you want reselling to be a business, you really do have to look at it as a business. If you want to get something out of it, you've got to put stuff in it. And that means spending a little time on your shop. Just like if you had an antique booth, you would want to go in every so often and rearrange things and put things on sale. Well, you want to do that on your online shop as well. Right now, I have over 500 items in my Etsy vintage shop. And a lot of those items may have been there for a while. So I like to spend some time on my shop, go through my listings, see things that need to be marked down. Is there anything that needs to be changed? Is there any pictures that need to be updated? And I'm going to show you on my laptop, if I can, what I'm talking about, because you can look at your Etsy dashboard. You can look to see how many views and how many visits you've had. Yeah, those are different things. They're very confusing. Visits and views are two different things, but you can look at all of those things to kind of see the items that people are showing interest in and kind of the items that really haven't gotten any interest. And then you can make your decision on, do you need to beef up that listing, need to change the price on it. These are all things that I do ever so often, and I make myself little goals, so you can make goals too. Right now I have a goal that I list every day. So I list at least 2 new items every day if I can. Now, if I haven't been sourcing in a while and my pile has gotten small, I can't do that. But I've been selling items every day. So if something sells every day, I do make a conscious effort to list an item every day. And I don't know if that helps. I feel like it does kind of help. My opinion, the more time you spend in your shop or the more traffic that's in your shop really kind of keeps you on the radar, maybe. I feel like everything works on an algorithm. So the more attention it gets, the more it's going to get pushed out. And maybe that works with our stores too. I don't know. I'm just telling you what works for me. It may not work for you. Everybody's different. Everybody has a different vision, a different goal, and a different style. So take what you can that helps you. The other stuff, just pretend you didn't even hear it. So you're probably saying, well, why are you down there on the floor looking at this stuff? You can just pull it up on your computer, and you can. But sometimes I need to come in here, walk around, and visually see the item, because I don't go through every single page of my Etsy every single day. And something that's on like the 6th page of it, I actually kind of forget that I have. I don't know if you've done this, but sometimes things will sell and I'll go, really? I forgot I still had that. And when I come in here and kind of look around ever so often and kind of dig back in here, there might be things that I forgot that I had. You know, I'll look at things and be like, oh, I remember when I bought these. And then I'll be like, these have not sold in a while. I might need to see, what am I pricing these as? Do I need to mark them down? Do I need to add new keywords to it? Or is it just that nobody's actually looking for this right now, which is sometimes the case. Okay, so we open up my page. I know there's an easier way to do this, but I am lazy and not very tech savvy, so I don't want to do it right now. Okay, this is my Etsy page here. Hopefully you can see that. What I do every day is I want to go in here and I want to go up here to the little shop manager. Okay, so I want to go right here to my little shop manager, and this is where I'm going to be able to see what I have for views and visits. So views and visits are two totally different things. And this always makes you feel good, like you're trending down. You're trending down. Okay, whatever. So here we go, views and visits. Views and visits are different. Think of visits as visitors. Visits, visitors. This is the number of different visitors that you have had to your shop. Views is just how many times an item has been viewed on your shop, which means 9 of these people, 33 views. So somebody over here viewed something more than once or viewed more than one thing. Okay, so if that helps you at all, that's what visits and views mean. So then you want, I go over here to my listings and I look at my listings. And under your listings, you can see the visits and then if someone favored it. So it doesn't show you views, it does show you visits. So what I'll do is I'll go in here and I'll see this item had 12 visits and 6 favorites. So I'm thinking this is a pretty popular item, but it hasn't sold. So then it's when I go to this listing and I look at this and I'm like, do I need to change any of the pictures? Do I need to change the price? Is there something that I need to change on there in order for this item to go? Or is it just one of those things where maybe it's just not selling right now? So that's what I mean by going in and kind of looking. I will look and see. Now I just listed this item, so this really doesn't matter, I don't guess, but where it has 0 visits, that means no one's looked at this. So I don't really worry about it if I've just listed it. Now, if it's been on my shop for a while and it has 0, then I would want to figure out what I need to do for that. But like, see this Spanish bride doll, 11 visits, 2 favorites. So I may consider marking her down because she does have a lot of visits on her. Maybe I have her priced a little high. That's just things that I do that helps me to see if there's something that I need to do in my store. So that's just one thing that I do, look at visits and views and just look and see if I have old inventory and kind of work on that. Just really kind of spending some time on your business, looking at that, marking things down, running a sale if you feel like you want to run a sale. I usually always try to have a sale going on. There are a few times where I don't have a sale, but if I'm not running one, I'll try to run a sale on items. And you can pick and choose which items you want on sale. You don't have to put your entire store on sale. I also try, like I said, to make the goal of like listing more items, and maybe also you can also set a goal of like how many items you want. I've had a couple new people reach out to me that have just started reselling on Etsy in particular, and they don't have a lot of items in their store just yet. So they're not getting a whole lot of eyes on that. That is sheer just math percentages. The more items you have in your store, the more likely you are to find a buyer that's going to find something that they want. That's just kind of like the law of averages, because if you walk into a store out on the street that has 5 items and the one next to it has 30 items, you're more likely going to find something you want in the one that has 30 items. Not necessarily, but the law of averages kind of is the more things you have, the more people you can appeal to. Now, some people would like to just have one kind of thing in their store or all upscale things in their store. my Etsy store, I have a mixture of both. There are things that I don't want to sell because I'm not interested in them. But in the last year, I have really tried to think outside the box. Not just what you like, Eva, what does everybody else like? And try to put things in there that might appeal to different people. Because most likely, people shopping online are typing in what they're looking for. They're not actually just going to your store. Now, if somebody finds you on YouTube or another social media platform, they're gonna click on your store. They might sit there and go through all the pages of your store just to see, hey, what do they have? Or if they buy something from you and then they favorite your shop, they may check your shop every so often to see, hey, what she have new, or Etsy may alert them when you put something new on. But the majority of the world is basically typing in what they're looking for in a Google search or an Etsy search. And so that's how your items are gonna pop up, is have a whole lot of different types of items, then you have more of a chance of like having something that somebody is gonna want. That's the way it makes sense to me. That's the way I look at it. Perhaps you disagree, and that's okay. Now we are gonna go to see what I got in my shopping haul. That's just a little tidbit. I'll try to do more later. If you have any questions, you can always leave it in the comments below. If you watched my last video, and I'll try to link it for you at the end of this one, but there was a brass harp that we couldn't figure out what it was. That thing immediately went into people's carts and it is already sold. We didn't know what it was. Somebody knew what it was and they wanted it. On to the shopping haul, and you will notice that it was filmed on a different day because I have a totally different outfit on. Well, here's one of the things that I bought. I love glassware. I have sold a lot of vintage glassware in the past. Now this set is really pretty, but what I love is when it comes in the little caddy. These caddies are hard to find sometimes, and they will actually sell by themselves. Now, these glasses probably didn't go with this caddy. They do fit in it, but the caddy is like an off-white, probably was a bright white at one time. The glasses are vintage. They are red and white. They are in great condition. They may be Libby, I don't know, or Anchor Hawking. I do not see a marking on them. They kind of have a ribbed feel because they have these little lines in them. Here's my thing with glassware. Sometimes I don't pick it up unless it's like a very desirable color, which for me, the desirable colors in glassware have always been like pink, turquoise and gold, a very mid-century modern type thing, but also orange and yellow, or like butterfly glasses, or something bright and cheery. Red and white does do well, flowers do well, but not nearly as well for me as the pink glasses and things like that. So the problem with picking up something like this is heavy. So this is gonna cost a little bit to ship, and I do free shipping, so that means I kind of gotta figure that out and roll the price all in there together. So, but the reason I got these, we got these at a flea market, is because I got these for a really great deal. I think I paid less than $20 for this whole set. Which is amazing because the caddy itself sometimes is worth more than $20. Now the caddy has some wear to it where you see the paint has come off. With antiques, you always wonder, like, should I fix it up or should I not? I usually don't. I usually don't buy anything that needs to be fixed up. Now I might get the dust off of it. I might wash it off. For this set though, I do think it's really pretty together. So what I want to do is I want to repaint this. I think I am going to repaint the caddy, and I think I'm either going to do it a bright white because it's kind of like this off-white yellowish color. I either want to paint it red or white. I'm thinking red. I'm thinking I'm going to paint this with some high quality metal paint because this is metal. I'm going to do a really good job on it and put the glasses back in it and then sell it as a set because I think it would be absolutely adorable in a red and white kitchen. And I was able to go ahead and get it finished so you guys can see the finished product. I got this really cool red paint. I think it was a good quality paint. Took it outside, painted it a couple of times, and look, it turned out really good. What do you guys think? But I did pick up a couple of mugs. Flamingo mugs always do well for me. This is a little vintage Florida mug. And that I picked that up. And then I picked up this sweet little Guess Who Loves Ya. and it's a Smurf cup. So I got this beautiful set of 4 glass mugs, which really pretty blue flowers on there. They were made in USA. They're actually marked Carlton 1984 on there, and they were in really good condition. So I do like the little glass mugs like this. The paint, there's no paint loss. I got 4 of those. This really pretty little cherub Renaissance type pillar vase, I guess, like a little bowl vase. It's very pretty, and it is Lefton, and not only does it have its original Lefton sticker, but it also has the Renaissance by Lefton mark on there. This type subject matter does do well for me, the cherubs and the whole like Renaissance Victorian type thing. These are Costa Rican art. They are souvenirs, probably from Costa Rica. They are framed, but the backing is like a glass type, like a black glass. And then this is metal. These pieces are all metal. So they're kind of put together like that, kind of mosaic-like. This is not something I normally would be looking for. We just happened to find it at a good price. And we Google Lensed one of them, and I can't remember one of the images was going for quite a bit more than what they were asking for these. So I picked this up because I did think it was interesting. I like the materials used in it. So we're gonna see how these do. Also something new that I've never had before. I got this really cool like copper brass bowl that has the little intricate design on there. Sometimes these are vintage, sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're more like the Pier 1 type stuff or like Kirkland's, I don't know. This one seems pretty vintage because it has quite a bit of wear on the inside. It is an India piece, I believe. I don't think it has any markings, but more than likely it is an India piece. But these things do seem to sell well. I think people like to use these in their decor. These are items that I probably wouldn't have picked up a few years ago because all of my stuff was more kitschy. But I have tried to start picking up things that are a little more trendy and decorating today. Okay, now this is something I didn't know that Home Interiors made. These are the plastic plaques, and they're marked on the back I want to say 2000 maybe? Like, and I'll put the date up on the screen because I can't remember and I don't have my glasses on, but I think it was like 2000 or 2004. So I'm like, when did Home Interiors go out of business? Does anybody know? Are they still around? They're not still around in the sense of like home parties like they used to be back in the day. Like they're that, you know, plastic thing like your Burwood and your Sirocco, but they're kind of cool, right? So I don't know if somebody will still use these, but we're going to find out. I know this, always a big seller, is the Mary Englebright pattern in anything. This is the little tins of Mary Englebright, and it's the 3-piece set, large, medium, and the small, and they all have the Mary Englebright design on them. And larger ones are in great condition, and the little one has some wear in there, but the outside looks great on all of them, and then it has the little Mary Englebright symbol right there. This design sells really well, so I'm thinking that this will do well. And then guys, holy moly, I don't know what this is, but it was so interesting. I had to take a chance on it. I got 2 of them. I'll show you the other one. This is a shell, okay? It's a real shell, but it has like this black stuff that was put underneath it, and they've mounted brass legs on it, and they've made it into a little bug. Now, there's a little black spot, but I actually think, unless that's the stuff from underneath, I think it's part of the design. It may be on the shell. It may have been part of the shell. This is a real seashell. And then it says made in the Philippines. So I don't know. I don't think it's like super vintage. I was thinking like, has anybody seen these out somewhere? Or was it a souvenir from the Philippines? Or what? Because when I Google Lens this, I could hardly find anything that had been made into a bug. So brass legs, brass head, and then a shell body, and pretty big. I don't know. Maybe you think that's creepy. I'm thinking it's interesting. I'm interested to see how this does. Then let me show you the other one. The other one's kind of cute. I got this little guy, another real seashell. It's a real shell. That's where the tag was. But see, it's a real shell. And then it had mounted these little brass legs. It's got some weight to it. And then the little brass head. Look at that. It's like a little seashell bug. I don't know. These things have like really, I spent I know I spent like an hour trying to research these, and I found a few other ones but they didn't look anything like these. They had silver legs. So I don't know if you guys have seen these somewhere, like a store sells them or something. I've seen these anywhere before. So one, I don't know if they're vintage. Two, could be a souvenir. But I'm thinking with the weight to them and just the simple fact of the beautiful shell, I would feel like this would be really cool, right? So I don't know. We are going to find out, but have never in all my years of shopping, I have not seen anything like these. You will have to tell me if you have come across these or if you know what they are. And that's the video for today, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate all of you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you haven't, I would love it if you did that. And thank you guys for everybody that has reached out and been very supportive. I love to support your channels. Thank you for supporting mine. I have met the nicest people through YouTube, and I just think it can be a great community. You are a new reseller, or if you're starting anything new, let me just leave you with this. Do not play the comparison game. Don't see other people succeeding and feel like that means you are a failure. There is room for everybody. You're going to succeed too. You just have to stay true to who you are. Everybody has different talents and different abilities, and there is something that was meant for you, and maybe somebody else's path is different than yours. Therefore, the results are different. Do not give up. Do not get discouraged. Discouragement can lead you down two different roads. It will either light a fire under you and make you want to learn more and do more and try to build up whatever it is that you're trying to build, or it can lead you down the road that makes you want to quit. Don't let discouragement make you want to quit. I used to be that way. Everything I would try that was new, I would see other people doing it. They were doing it so much better. I was getting frustrated of why is it taking me so long, or why is this not happening for me? And then I would just want to give up. I just want to quit. So don't give up, don't quit, just keep going. You have to remind yourself, why do you want to do what you're doing? And a lot of people are going to say, well, I want to make money. Well, duh, yeah, you want to make money, but why did you pick what you're doing? If you truly love it, if you're good at it, if you just keep honing your skills, it's going to show up for you in ways that you will least expect it. I believe in you. You should believe in you. Keep going. Don't give up. And remember, everything that glitters is not gold. People can get on YouTube and they can tell you 100 things. It may not be true, and you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So you can use them as encouragement, but don't ever fall into that comparison game. It's not a good place to be. You don't want to be there. Get out if you're in it. Abort mission. Get out of town if you are in the comparison town. And get back to what's important, which is you. You have talents, you matter, and you can bring something cool to this world. So don't give up. And I just wanted to leave you with that. I don't know why. I just felt like I needed to say that. So hopefully somebody needed that today. Until next time, guys, thanks again for being here. And I will see you very soon in the next video. I got bugs, y'all. These bugs, cute bugs.